I saw someone that I wasn't supposed to see. I was once working as a receptionist at a 5-star resort that's about 45 minutes away from the city center. Everyone who has worked in tourism and or hospitality knows that there are certain periods during the year where it's busier than usual, i.e. peak season. This incident happened during peak season. The resort was overbooked and guests were checking into their rooms one after another at the reception counter. I was almost done checking in this nice, lovely couple when I saw this family of 5 standing behind them and tried to finish up the whole check-in process so I could assist the family that was next in line. You must be thinking that when I said family of 5, it's the parents and 3 kids, right? But it's actually 2 kids and 1 elderly woman who at the time I assumed was either the husband or wife's mother. Now, the resort's policy was to get the details of every guest that were staying in the resort, and it is for a good reason, safety. It's the same reason that all airlines are doing this when they obtain their passengers' info. So I told the husband that we needed everyone's details, and he just said, sure, no problem. And of course, I was expecting 5 names on the registration form. By the time I realized there were only 4 names, the family were already at the concierge area to pick up their luggage and then left to go to their rooms. I couldn't go after them as I was assisting another guest. Like I said, it was peak season. So all I could do was just watch them from afar, walking towards the elevators, then disappearing from sight. The whole time they were walking, the old woman just followed them from behind quietly, but I didn't give much thought to it and went right back to assisting the guest that was in front of me. After the buzz had died down at around 4 p.m., I decided to ring the family's room to inform them that they were missing details. The husband came down to the reception alone, and I told him I needed the info of his/his wife's mother's info. This man just stood there, stared at me for what felt like a minute, and said, "It's only my wife and I and our 2 kids." Me, being confused, obviously said, "But sir, I saw there were 5 of you." At this point, I thought he was lying to avoid paying for a third-person charge for one of the rooms. They got 2 rooms, and one room only has amenities for 2 people. Same goes for the buffet breakfast that's included. He took another minute and asked me what did this elderly woman look like, to which I explained that she had gray hair and it was short, like a bob haircut. I also told him that she was wearing this red, I'm gonna butcher this, I'm so sorry. I also told him that she was wearing this red Chongzam shirt, similar to this, with long black pants.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah.
That's really pretty.
Really pretty.
That's what I was picturing when you said red.
Wow. Right as I told him that, he quickly took out his phone, frantically scrolled for a few seconds, and showed me a picture of the same woman in the same clothes lying in a closed coffin that had a clear glass cover so you could still look inside. I just nodded slightly, and he said that it's his mother. She died unexpectedly a few months ago. I was, to no surprise, too shocked to say anything at this point, but somehow managed to mutter the words, "I'm so sorry for your loss, sir, and I am so sorry about this." He just said it was okay, gave me a small smile, then left without saying anything. When they checked out 2 days later, we just pretended like the whole thing never happened.
Wow.
Luckily enough, the elderly woman was not there. Still get goosebumps just thinking about it till this day.
Oh my God. That's so crazy.
Cannot imagine seeing a ghost that is so clear, so present, so there that you just think it's another person.
Yeah. I've never I can't even imagine because I never even had anything remotely. I kind of knew where the story was going when you said that, but it's still jarring because this is like somebody's real experience.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that
she described her without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that like he just happened to have a picture of his mom in her funeral attire in the coffin, which I know some people do take pictures. Like I think for some reason I feel like I remember them taking pictures at my great-grandma's funeral. I don't know if it's done so much anymore, but some people do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Teach their own.
Yeah.
But like I just can't even imagine being like hearing someone describe your mom that just passed, like, and you're like, what?
Yeah, like it's weirding you out. That's so crazy.
And then it's like, do you get weirded out?
Yeah.
Or do you feel like a sense of comfort that like she's watching over us? She's here.
I was thinking that too. Like, do you get weirded out or is it kind of comforting? It seems like he wasn't weirded out.
No.
I think at first he was like confirming like, wait, like this woman and, you know, the one that passed. And then when it was confirmed, he was kind of like, no worries, and walked away. Almost like, has it happened before? Or are you relieved? Or, you know, he didn't seem like fucked up over it.
I know. I really wonder what his like thought process was. The top comment on this one, it only has 22 upvotes at this time, but so that obviously could change as things develop here. But it goes, while this story should make me be like, quote, that's really sweet. His mother is very much still with him. In fact, it feels ominous to me. Spooky in that dark, somber kind of way. I don't know.
A little bit. Just, yeah. It does. Because I think it's because there's so much left for the imagination. Like, there's just no context. Like, where did she go? Was she just like watching over them? Is she like, we don't know the background or their relationship. Like, did they not have a good relationship? Was it severed? You know? So it's, I think that's the open-endedness of it. Just leaves you to wonder. I've had a lot, I think you know this. Like, I'm a very spiritual dreamer. I have such vivid dreams. I've had like premonition dreams where something that I dream comes true. And whether that's a crazy coincidence, I don't know. Chalk it up to whatever you believe in. But I had a dream kind of recently, actually, where like people can think I'm crazy. That's fine. But this is my experience. I've had dreams where I genuinely feel like some of my relatives who have passed are visiting me. Genuinely. I wake up, I felt their presence. I literally feel like they visited me. It's like a visitation dream. And I feel just like it's like emotional hangover when I wake up because it genuinely feels like their presence was there. And the most recent one I had was actually, I think last month. And it was, I'll spare the details, but it was very interesting. There was like a conversation between like me and my grandpa who's passed and my uncle who also passed. And in the dream, the uncle hadn't passed yet. So we were talking to the uncle, but I knew he's passed in real life. So in my dream, I'm like, how is he here? He's passed away.
Oh my God, that's such a mental mindfuck.
It's like Inception almost. But then the weird part about it was that when I woke up, I was realizing that literally the day I had that dream was the 1 year anniversary of my uncle's passing.
What the hell?
To the day. So that part weirded me out. So that, like, you know what I mean? Like, coincidence, maybe, but I never dream about this uncle ever.
No, that feels like very purposeful.
Yeah. And when you wake up, I don't know if anyone out there has had a dream like this, and I know I'm not alone because I looked this up and there's like psychology. People really feel like they've had visitation dreams. You genuinely feel their presence. Like when you wake up, you're like, it's heavy because you just feel like you were near somebody that has since passed and you hear their voice and their personality is there. And you're just like, oh my, and why are they visiting me? Like, do they have something to say? And so, I mean,
it's so crazy.
Relate it back to this story. Like, I'm sure he's questioning too, like if he believes that was in fact the spirit of his mom. He's probably thinking, well, why is she doing that?
I know. Well, and to just like follow them, like, it seems like she was like so at peace just like following them around versus like if she was still there, like you think she would be trying to make contact. Or maybe she's been there the past 3 months and has tried to make contact. So she has no idea what else to do, which if you think about it in that sense, that's where for me it becomes like not sweet. It becomes more like sad because it's like her spirit is stuck. Like she can't move on.
She can't move on. But you know the question I have in my brain right now? Why was the receptionist able to see her? Because they say that spirits don't give everybody visibility. Only certain people have the access to it. So why that girl must be either very connected to spirits or why her? She's a virtual stranger to these people. Why did she have visibility? I want to know, did everyone else in the hotel lobby see them? See her?
That is so true.
Like, I'd be curious to know if she's the only person who saw her, because if so, what's that connection? Why her?
Oh my God. So OP comments a bunch. And I did message them and I said like, hey, can I share your story? And they said yes. And so they might be tuning in. So hi and thank you. So someone did comment and they go, wow, is this a true story? I assume there's no chance the woman could have been with another family.
That's what I thought
too. The fact that she was wearing the same thing his mother was buried in basically confirms it. That's simply amazing. I hope my mom is following me around. And OP goes, I wish this wasn't a true story. I really do still get scared just thinking about it. I thought that was the case too, that she could have been with another family, but from when they were lining up to get checked in, the woman was right behind them the whole time, way too close to them if you asked me. And even then, that didn't bother the family. And when they were walking towards the concierge and getting their stuff, the woman just followed them the whole way from behind, again, standing very closely.
That is interesting.
Someone else asked them, is it the first and only time in your life that you encountered paranormal? Also, can't help but wonder if you ever checked the security cameras or asked any people around you if they saw it. Very curious. Wouldn't say the first time, but it is the first for me to actually see it. I did not actually, unfortunately. First, I was way too shocked to do anything after that. Second, it would have been a lot of work to get the CCTV footage, honestly. Tons of procedures to do and got to get approval from a manager just to view the footage. Third, the resort has been up and running for more than 30 years, and it is normal to hear the staff and guests encounter things like this. It is also not the only time I have encountered paranormal stuff like this at this resort. I worked there for about 2 years. I would definitely love to share the other stuff that happened to me some other time. So just wow.
Yeah.
People also ask that, like, maybe she appeared visible to you so that you could tell the family about her.
Yeah.
If she appeared visible to them, it would upset them or frighten them in some way, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering why she was able to see her.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think that's like the case with a lot of things, though. And I think some people, because I do have some listeners that have written stories that'll be included on, the next like spooky season theme. And there's a few listeners that like one's a medium and is like very connected to the spiritual realm. And another one has like more of I forget the way they put it, but in the email, it was like they have a certain like heightened level of awareness. They're more like predisposed to picking up on those energies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think there are some people that are just truly like more connected to that other realm and like energy.
Yeah, I do think that that's the case. Like, I don't think it's just random. And I believe that. Like, I know some people think it's not, it's in your head or whatever, but I've just had so many close encounters with like spirits that it's felt so spiritual that I believe it. I've had really interesting things happen.
Oh, I've 100% believe this. And if you do want to check out their account, I'll be sure to link it in the description. If I forget to add story links, just comment on the YouTube because I often run out of time and forget. But it seems like they're going to be posting more about their other paranormal experiences. So might be a good account to follow along with.